All right. So to do this in the analog domain, see, you would have done in your AC lab, you would have built filters, you would have used resistive, inductive, and capacitive components to build your filter, just a filtering I'm telling. Or even if you want to do amplification using op-amps, you would have done, or probably you're studying op-amps now. Using op-amps, you can build an amplifier. So all these analog components, you're doing it in the analog domain, it is very cumbersome to do. It is very difficult. It's probably for if you use simple RLC components, a filter is easy to design, or an amplifier simple to design. But when it comes to different kind of signals, multiple signals, it's very difficult for you to do this operation. So what to do then? So the best alternative option for you is your DSP. Okay. Okay. So now we will see what are or why exactly do we have to do this operation. Okay. Why exactly or what are the advantages of using your DSP processor. One by one, let us go through this. Okay. All right. So the first thing is, first advantage we would see is greater accuracy. Okay. Greater accuracy. So what do you mean by accuracy here? Suppose you're designing a filter. Let us consider a filter design. Okay. In your analog domain, say you are designing some filter. Definitely, the precision of the filter in the digital domain will be much, much higher. Getting? The precision of the filter will be much, much higher in your digital domain. So this is one very big advantage. Okay? Because if I say the cutoff frequency, simple low pass filter, say the cutoff frequency of a signal for 1 kilohertz I want to design. The digital design will exactly give you a 1 kilohertz cutoff. Theoretically, a brick wall filter. Brick wall, you remember this exact natural characteristics of the filter you can achieve, okay, for the signal. Whereas not x of t, this is x of omega. You will understand what I'm writing on the y-axis later, okay? So, so that is one very important factor. If you are designing something like filters and all, you'll always definitely want higher precision, which is possible using filters. Whereas using using DSP, whereas using your analog components, it is not so much feasible. Next important thing is it is cheaper. What is cheaper? Doing anything in the digital domain is definitely much more cheaper because analog requires very high amount of processing power, whereas digital will require very less of it. Okay. Third thing is ease of storage. Digital data you can easily store, isn't it? On usually in earlier days we used to say you used to store it in magnetic tapes. So it's very easy for you. Data storage. I hope you're all understanding. Okay. Next important thing is you can implement, okay, implementing sophisticated algorithms. What is the meaning of this? See, when I say algorithms, for everything, whether it is to process a signal or whether it is to, enhance a signal, whatever it is, there are multiple algorithms which are present in today's world. Even you consider, many of you would have, I don't know if you're aware of artificial intelligence, neural networks and all, you would have heard these buzzwords these days. Okay, you would have heard. So anything you want to implement, there are so many simple algorithms which will help you to do these operations. Say to implement, say you are doing enhancing of, I'm just giving you an example. Say you have taken a project of enhancing an image. Simple project, you can do it in MATLAB. Okay, MATLAB means Matrix Laboratory. You'll be using that software, MATLAB software, to implement your DSP programs and everything. You'll be writing simple codes even in the lab for whatever we have done, whatever you have studied, even in signals, right? Generation of signal and addition, subtraction, all these simple operations. In just one go, you can write a simple program. So to implement all these things on a hardware, it is very easy. Even if there are complicated algorithms which are present, it is very easy for you to implement it using a DSP. Okay, that is a digital signal processor, will easily implement all these complicated algorithms also. From simple to complex things, you can do it. So that is a very good, big advantage of the DSP processors, wherein you will use it even in many of the practical applications. Okay. Next thing is you have flexibility in configuration, in the configuration. So when I say flexibility in configuration, it means that in many of your applications, okay, depending upon the application, you will have to do certain adjustments, okay, which is possible using a DSP processor. Which is a very big advantage. Got it? Apart from this, for very low frequency applications, example would be your seismic signals. See, very low frequency means for you to measure the frequency components itself, it is very difficult. Say one very solid example is the seismic signals which are generated below the earth. Okay, those signals are very feeble, and even to identify those signals, it's very difficult. But even such low frequency signal and probably very low strength applications can also be processed very well using a DSP processor. So if you just one by one think about it, and one of the last and most important advantage is that it helps in time sharing. You would have already studied in your microprocessor and all that. Okay. That is, multiple operations you can parallelly run. Like multiple operations can happen parallelly using this time sharing technique. Different time slots at the same time slot, multiple operations can happen. And that means you can, suppose 3 jobs are there. Say one filtering operation, one amplification, some addition operation. All these 3 are being performed parallelly. So first I may do what? First I can perform, maybe first I will do filtering for some delta t time, delta t1. Next, I may do amplification for the next delta t2. Then again I may do some addition operation at delta t3. Okay, again back I will go to, at delta t4 I'm going to do the rest of the filtering operation. So very small at very small time intervals, you can divide multiple jobs in time. So this is called as time sharing. So this option is also available using DSP processor. So these are some of the basic advantages. Once again, we'll quickly go through it. First one is accuracy. Okay. That is, whether you have to design something, whether it's a filter or an amplifier, whatever it is, digital domain is much more accurate. So first operation that you're going to consider is accuracy. Accuracy, or you can say efficiency also. Next is the cost. That is, it is much more cheaper. Because it is digital in nature, storage is easier. Very complicated algorithms, even complicated algorithms that you see today, even in your neural networks or what you see in artificial intelligence, those things, if you're familiar with Python and all that, there are even options to interface your Python code with your DSP processor. So why is that option is given? Python is the highest, most widely used language for your artificial intelligence or machine learning today. So even for very complicated algorithms, DSP processor, because of this digital nature and the way it handles the signals, it's very much useful for us to use DSP processors even for complicated algorithms. Next is flexibility. Depending upon application, you can configure your DSP. Most importantly, for very low frequency also, you're able to use your DSP processor. And finally, time sharing, which is very important because multiple operations you can do at a time. So these are the few advantages of your DSP processor. Now, what could be few limitations? Can anyone give a try? You have looked at the positive points. Now, what could be few negative points about it? People are good at always finding the faults, right? I mean, just on a lighter note, we as human beings, we are all good at, finding out the limitations or the negative points about things rather than looking into the positive aspects. So I think it's very, sometimes it's very important also to identify what all are the glitches or what all are the problems that we face. It's very important to find out that. So though your DSP has gone,
Ma'am,
yeah. Shiv Shankar,
as
right?
it processes, yes, ma'am. As it processes very low frequencies, also sometimes noise may be considered as information, ma'am. At
Okay.
some instances.
Okay. So for that we can do adaptive filtering, not an issue. Yeah, but sometimes you are saying there is some
There are chances, ma'am.
there are chances that some noise may be considered. Okay, that you can take it as an example. Noise as
Fabrication, ma'am.
yeah, who was that? Fabrication. A fabrication means okay. You mean making the processor? That is a difficulty. No,
Yes, ma'am.
fabrication today. Who was that? Who was the one speaking? Can I know your name?
Sumant.
Suman. Suman.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Suman. See, in today's scenario, right? Fabrication will not be a very big problem. The main problem is, or the main thing about it is VLSI technology. That is very large scale integration. VLSI, ultra VLSI, ULSI, VLSI, all this has progressed in your CMOS technology. So even nanotechnology has also come up today. So fabrication of DSP processor is not difficult in today's scenario because even very minute, even quantum computing has also come, if you have heard. You can just note down these things somewhere because, when you're going to do some projects, finally a project and all that, these are some areas where you can really work, some areas of core electronics which people don't take the courage to go into. Everyone just go does some coding and they leave it. Okay, but these are areas, whether it is nanotechnology, quantum computing, VLSI. Because of these technologies, fabrication of a DSP processor is not at all difficult today. All right. So
Yes, ma'am.
what Shiv Shankar told also, using noise as considering noise as a signal. This will not happen if you consider adaptive filters. I told you, right? You can use adaptive filtering. By using this, there will not be any noise which will be considered as a signal. So you can avoid this problem also using DSP processor. So it does not have that have that disadvantage. But considering this example, suppose you want to implement an adaptive filter, it is not very easy. So what happens? The system becomes system design. Okay, system design is complex. So system complexity increases. So what Suman told, probably what Suman meant was that the system's complexity is increasing. If that is what you meant, it is correct. But if you meant that fabricating this is difficult, fabrication technology has improved very much. In India, it is not there much. But if you go to other countries, definitely they are very well equipped in manufacturing these electronic chips, whatever chip it is, whether it's a DSP processor or a VLSI chip, whatever it is, they're very good at doing it. So since this is there, there can be trillions of transistors in a small nano chip. Okay, to that level, the fabrication technology has improved. So I think that is a very good thing, and it definitely doesn't contribute to the limitations of DSP. Okay, but system complexity, because you are handling such complicated signals, the complexity of the system is high. Okay, if you say why is it high, say example, if you are doing adaptive filtering, okay, it's a very cumbersome task. Apart from that, what else could be the reason for complexity? See, you are doing conversion from A to D and again D to A. Don't you think there is so much of processing involved here? So when you convert from A to D, you should have your signal X of T is converted to X of N. Okay? When you're doing the reconstruction back, you will have a quantized signal like this. I hope you remember this. You would have studied in your this thing. Okay, this is your signal you have. Then you will pass it through a reconstruction filter, and what will happen? The signal smoothens out. Suppose this is your signal. Okay, and you get your original signal back. Y of t reconstructed signal will be like this. So these processes involves a lot of operation. That is the reason you are going to, the complexity of your system is increasing, I told. Clear? Okay. So complexity increases. What else? Next important thing is, it is band limited by what? By your sampling rate. Band limited by sampling rate means what? See, you are fixing the sampling rate. Suppose the maximum frequency component of the signal X of t. Okay, maximum frequency component, if it is f of x, the rate at which you're going to sample, the sampling frequency should be equal to or greater than twice this maximum frequency. This is the Nyquist criteria we are going to follow. But you're always limited to this value. So by doing this, what you're actually doing is, you are doing the operation of band limiting the signal. Okay? So if you want, all of a sudden, if you want to change this band of operation in between your processing, that is not possible. Okay, that means you cannot change the, once you have band limited the signal, you cannot change that operation. Okay, that is the meaning. What next? What else? What else could be? Any other guesses? Any other limitation can you think of? Okay, let me
Ma'am,
specify.
the need of a clock signal, as most of the digital systems need a clock to work.
Okay, yeah, that comes here. See, the complexity of the system is high. Giving clock signal, doing A to D conversion, lot of processing happens, right? All those points you can include under system complexity. Good.
Okay.
Anything else? Anybody else wants to try? Give a try. Can I ask someone? Devanshi, yes? Devanshi, are you there? Yeah. Can you think of any other complexity, any other problem that you could face? Don't feel scared. I'm just randomly asking. Hussain? Hussain, can you answer? Hussain Pira? No?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in analog circuits, if one component fails, only that circuit directly we can replace, ma'am. But when
Okay.
it comes to DSP, if all other blocks are working and one block has failed, like one pin has failed, so we need to replace the complete processor, no, ma'am.
Yeah,
Can that be decided?
if one particular pin is failing, then you're going to replace the entire thing. You mean to say that
Yes, ma'am.
maintenance is high? That is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Maintenance. Maintenance is actually not so high. Okay. Maintenance is there, that's all. But you can't claim it as a disadvantage. Anyway, since you told, I wrote it, no problem. Okay,
Yes,
maintenance.
ma'am. Thank you.
You need to have some amount of main. But actually, it's very easy to, you know, replace your DSP or to do some operations with that. No problem. Most
Ma'am, like
important.
if one block is, ma'am,
If
if
one,
one block is not working,
hmm,
then we need to replace the complete DSP, no, ma'am. That complete
uh,
processor is of waste only, ma'am.
see, I am asking you the disadvantages or limitations of the DS. That was the general block diagram, what I told you. I am speaking about the DSP processing, just the DSP processor block. Previous blocks outside, what happens, you are not bothered. So maintenance is
Yes, ma'am.
there slightly, but you cannot claim it as a, this is not a disadvantage, it is there, that's all. Okay, you don't
Yes, ma'am.
claim it as a particular disadvantage. Okay, just maintenance is there slightly, that's it. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So most important thing you people are forgetting. Okay, power consumption. Just consider, suppose I want to design a filter of cutoff frequency 1 kilohertz. Just example I'm giving you. Okay, of 1 kilohertz. Using simple RLC component, you can aram se design this. It's very easily you can do this job. Okay, but the same thing, you know, in a DSP processor, just imagine how many transistors are there. Roughly some 4 to 5 lakh transistors are embedded. I told you, when it comes to processing, so many transistors will be there because of the advancement in VLSI technology and all. When all these are involved, the entire processor is involved with so many transistors, definitely the power consumption will be what? Will be very high. So this is definitely a disadvantage. Okay. These are the most important thing. One thing is a system becomes very complex because of so much of conversion and suppose you are doing adaptive filtering kind of operations, very difficult. Signal is always band limited because you're doing some sampling. Power consumption is very, very high. And as he said, maybe there is little bit of maintenance. Because this power consumption is high, what will happen? See, this is actually linked to this point. What happens is there will be lot of heat dissipation when power consumption is there. When heat dissipation is high, sufficient background maintenance you have to do. Okay, this is actually linked to this point also. So you can just include it there. But these are the basic 3 advantages or disadvantages of this. So next, you can just, after we look into certain, what are the applications of these? Applications, you can list so many, okay, of your DSP processor. You can just give me few examples. So after that, we'll go into the actual topic, that is frequency domain representation of this signal, why we need it and all, we'll see. After that, we'll go into the actual small kind of, not derivation, we'll understand why your frequency domain is needed next. Okay, these are the things this is how we'll be going. So applications, can you just list quickly? All of you? Anyone? Okay, let me ask. Let me ask specific people so that I want everybody to talk. Vikas is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Vikas, can you give me few examples?
Ma'am, DSP can be used whenever an operation to be performed on a signal.
Operation. Yeah, that's what. You give me some examples.
Maybe radio station.
Radio station. Okay. All right.
Ma'am, radars.
Radar. Okay. Processing.
Satellite communications.
Ma'am, audio processing.
Audio processing. Okay. Hmm. Anything else?
Military
Sumant?
applications.
Military. Very good. Military applications. Now I want Sumant to answer.
Ma'am, any kind of communications, ma'am. That could be
Any.
like satellites or radar systems or radio frequencies. We need to do these modulation, demodulations,
Okay.
convert those signals to analog, digital. So these things come into picture there.
Okay. So shall I write telecommunication applications?
Yes, ma'am.
Telecommunication applications. All right. So who else? Jayantes. Can you give few more?
For image processing also we can use this one.
Yeah. Image processing. Fine. Image processing involves here even your medical applications. See, when I say image, all your ECG, EEG signals and all your MRI images, all these things, some data is missing. Okay. Then you can get it back. You can restore it back. I think the meeting will end in 5 minutes. See, every day you will be using the same link. Okay, students, everyone, just make a note. Keep that meeting link with you. For Cisco, it is the same meeting link every day. According to your timetable, kindly join in at the same time. All right. Unless I tell you that I won't be there or I'll be on leave or something, by default, the same meeting link will follow as long as online classes are going on. All right. So correct. Exactly at your class time. I won't remind you every time. Just according to the class time, join for the class. Okay. Yeah, fine. So now the meeting will end. Again, just join back. I will also re-log in. Still there is time. Okay. All right. So any other applications? Whatever you're saying, right? All these things will also come under something called as consumer electronics. Whatever you see in your daily life where DSP is applied, all those you can write as or you can explain as consumer electronics. Besides this, in industry, okay, there is something called as instrumentation control. Instrumentation control, wherein certain particular operations you need to perform based on the signal's status. Okay, considering say the signal is, some particular signal is there, you should turn on or off a valve, or you need to increase the speed of something, increase the speed of a motor. Such kind of operations, logical operations also, where some amount of signal is involved and some decision has to happen. Even in such scenario, you can use your DSP processes. Apart from this, as I told you earlier, since very low frequencies also it operates in seismology, it is very much used. They use your DSP processors only for this, for identifying whether there is an earthquake and such kind of things, or to measure the signal strength and to understand or infer some information about that. And most important, audio processing is nothing but also called as speech processing. Somebody already told this, right? So this is also one important point. Okay, audio processing. All right. So image, audio, medicine, instrumentation, communication, telecommunication, almost everything is done. Anything else anybody wants to add? I think it's more than enough. Okay, fine.
Ma'am, oscilloscopes, ma'am.
Oscilloscope. Yeah, that comes under consumer electronics. It's you're using it in the lab, right? Oscilloscope. There also you can use your DSP processor. Not an issue. Okay. You can give definitely give all these examples when you, if the applications are asked and you're going to explain it, you can list whatever you're saying, you can write it as examples over there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the next thing that we are going to see, sorry. Something is happening here. All right. So the next thing that we're going to see is your frequency domain representation of your discrete time signals. Okay. So first of all, why do we need this representation? Okay, why do we need always all the natural signals are time domain in nature? Okay, why this? Why do we need frequency domain is the first question. So most natural signals, whenever even in your signals and systems, when you used to write, your x-axis is t, y-axis is the amplitude of the signal, that is x of t or y of t or something you will write, or m of t if it is a message signal and so on. So any signal you take, whatever signal it is, over time